Welcome, everyone, to episode 27 of the DJ and Heel Show. This is me.
That's better! So much fucking better. Holy shit!
As always, we got DJ with us in his summer residence or his 11-day residence over in Spain. We got the incomparable Zeus. And joining us for the first time ever, we got Hollywood Gump Brother.
What's up, dudes? What's up,
Right, Jack?
Can we just call him Bulk Hogan for short?
Hulk Hogan.
I thought, isn't that what
kidding.
Punk's going to be called?
Maybe.
Yeah.
But goddamn, Brandon stepped it up this week. Holy shit! He's like, I'm turning 100 this year. I'm gonna show you motherfuckers I still got a little bit left in the tank. God damn it!
Half of that, but more than what Jericho gave us last night. That's for sure.
Jericho gave us verbal chlamydia. Okay.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
I haven't seen it yet, but all I saw was just people saying what a terrible segment it was.
Be glad you didn't see it. You don't need penicillin this morning.
When the hardcore sickos are even shitting on a segment from Dynamite, that's when you know it's bad.
I feel like they've been. I feel like they've been sour on Jericho for a while, even like before he left. You know, the whole learning tree thing. I don't know if they're really a fan of him in general anymore.
Well, now he's leaning into that thing that he does where he'll say something, then he's bald. Well, yeah, my name's Jericho. Ugly. That thing, dude. And it's so stupid, man. It's lame. I don't understand it, dude.
John, it's funny because it just makes me think of like SNL skits, and I know you put up SNL skits every now and then, but that's basically what he was doing. He's doing like that. What was his freaking face? Damn. See, don't get old, kids. You forget shit when you're trying to say something.
Damn it, Brandon's catching Alzheimer's in real time, guys. Holy, are you talking about Andy Kaufman? Maybe.
No.
Are you going that far back? I don't know. I'm trying to help you remember your memories.
Who's the big MAGA guy from SNL?
What? Rob Schneider?
Schneider, thank you. Remember Schneider would do like, yeah. You know, he would do kind of like that kind of gimmick.
Yeah.
That's like what Jericho's doing now. It's like, you know, he says it under his breath. Oh, no, that was Kevin Nealon who did it.
Oh shit. I'm sorry. I started dying from Rob Schneider.
He has that effect on a lot of people.
All right. What wrestling topic are we getting to first? Where do you want to start, Brandon? There's so many things that happened this week.
Do you want to take the big topic and get the Sicko Soapbox out of the way?
Okay, fuck it. Hold my beer, guys. All right. Set the clock. All right. The Sicko Soapbox this week is pretty much an elongated topic. So this week there was a rumor put out. And I'll get to who said the fucking rumor when I end the story. But there was a rumor put out that CM Punk was asked for a pay cut. That's why he's off TV. He wants out of his contract. He said apparently there was a situation at WrestleMania where he politicked for something and it got him heat from TKO. Bunch of bullshit. The rumor was from Jacob 2013 on X, Twitter, or whatever the fuck it is. You want to know who this guy is? He's a guy who doesn't have a profile picture on his page, who only does Discord spaces because he wants to hide what he says so no one can call him out on his obvious lies and bullshit. Jacob 2013 put out the rumor and said, this is not verified, but I'm going to say it anyway. And you knew this was bullshit. He started walking it back probably like 2 or 3 hours later when enough people with credence can, back it up. I'm on the phone, bud. Say hi.
What's this?
Say hi.
What's this?
It's Brandon and Zeus.
Hi.
All right.
But yeah, back to the point of, come on, Aaron. I will multitask while I do this. I got you. But the point is, Jacob put out this narrative of an unverified rumor that no one heard anything of or was put out or nothing was even said about Punk. And he put out this narrative that, Everyone hates Punk. Punk's a shitty person. And let's set some context and background about who this stupid motherfucker is. And I hope, Zeus and Hollywood, I know y'all aren't blocked, so if y'all can do me the favor and tag this bitch in the clip that Brandon's gonna put this shit in, so he can know every fucking dirty syllable that I've said about him, and I won't.
He doesn't have the show.
Have to hide it. Go ahead.
He doesn't have the show blocked.
Okay, cool. So Brandon's gonna
Twitter.
There we go. We're gonna handle it that way. So his whole thing is he has this anti-WWE agenda. I don't know if Vince fucked his mother or if Michael Hayes shit in his post toasties. I don't know if fucking the boogeyman was his mailman and touched him as a little boy. Someone in that company did something to him personally that he has this fucking grudge. He wants the company burnt down to the ground because, oh, it's a monopoly and they want to kill the wrestling business and blah, blah, blah. The same shit we hear from every other sicko and sycophant out here in the IWC who is anti-WWE. But this motherfucker eats, sleeps, and breathes this shit. There is not a thing that you can say about WWE that is negative or bad that this motherfucker hasn't already thought of. And to sit here and constantly bash WWE or bash certain people that you have a target for, and then say nothing when it's on the opposite side of the fence. Again, Chris Jericho, Darby Allin are just a few people who had sexual allegations thrown their way, and people just ignore Mega Parikh, another person that no one ever talks about, and is magically gone from AEW. She was the number 2. Why does no one talk about how the number 2 person in the company just disappeared out of nowhere and got replaced by Chris Peck? No one talks about that. I bring that up every fucking chance I get because, again, you got to catch the smoke on both sides. If you're doing one thing on one side, you got to call it out when it's obviously happening on other. And this leads to my second point and person who I have to call out. Sean, SRS, buddy, best friend, why are you making me do this to you? Because there was once a long time ago where you sat here and you anally, verbally, and publicly blasted Air Gold for putting out misinformation and this, that, and the third because he exposed your boy Ibu as a fucking pillow talker. And he caught all types of smoke. But when Jacob out here doing the same thing, posting unverified rumors and throwing shit at the wall and seeing what fucking sticks, you go on your show and says, oh, well, he does have some sources. And I can't just sit here and say what he's saying isn't completely true. It's just I haven't heard it. In the nicest way, basically saying he was full of shit and he wasn't hearing any of this shit. And Sean definitely has a lot more ears to the ground on the TKO WWE side than the fucking guy who wants the company to burn down to the ground. And I'm sorry if this is taking too long, guys, but I've been holding this in for like 24 fucking hours since the bitch blocked me and ducked me and did everything in his power to not come on the show when we gave him the fucking chance. And I didn't want no clout. So also person number 3 who thought DJ just needed to do this shit for clout. First thing, I don't even run the show page, bitch. So if anything I gotta say, I just say it on my page. Best believe I don't got to go on my fucking show page to say it. That's number 1. And number 2, why are we sitting here trying to sit here and placate and not, again, be objective? Sean, if you're sitting here calling people out on misinformation, call out the motherfucker who just sat here and lied and put out a false narrative story on CM Punk just to get some fucking clicks. Like, come on now. And third person, real quick, and I'll end it on here. Hannah bitch, hi. Haven't talked about you for a while, but you seem to come popping up like a fucking weed every chance you get. Because for some reason, soon as me and Jacob are going at each other, you comment on some old post about someone doxing you and your kid. And I say something well, I guess it's fucking karma, because I remember the time when you and your entire Wrestle Collective made an entire space about me, ran your mouths about me, and mentioned my 3-year-old son that was just featured on this little clip here too. So that actually made it 10 times better than I'm going off on this fat-headed piece of shit now too. You sat there and was present and idle and fucking did not do a goddamn thing when they called my 3-year-old son a fucking meth baby. What the fuck is wrong with you? And you think I'm gonna have some sympathy for you when someone catches you and your kid in public? No, it's fucking karma. So don't sit here and be like, oh, well, of course DJ agreed with it. I do not condone people going after people's family. And when whoever was on the DJ and Heel account yesterday, because me and Brandon have a moderator on that bitch, I sat there and said publicly, I don't condone it. I will talk to the moderator about it because I do not condone going after people's family. You go after the person you're going after as much as you want. That's what I believe in. I can tear that person apart verbally as much as possible. As much as I hate Voice of the Marks, I'm not going to sit here and start targeting his mom, his sister, his family, or his fake 6-year-old daughter that he made up out the blue. I'm not going to do that because that's not who I am. I'm going to just worry about that fat fuck. And I'm going to stick my beef and comments to him. Don't sit here and try to say that I'm doing some shit because I'm trying to get some attention. And of course DJ is doing that because you want some clicks off, because you see some people getting some clicks off of my name. Again, like how always you come out talking about me. So again, Hannah bitch, like I said on Twitter, if you got a fucking problem, my DMs are open. You're welcome to come on my show because I'm not scared of you. And I've always said you're welcome to come on and get verbally eviscerated in person. So there's my Sicko Soapbox. Fuck 2.5 of you guys. Sean only gets a half fuck you because I actually like him, and I'm just calling him out on the wishy-washy behavior as I see fit. And that was this whole thing was mainly for the ones like Ropes, who says I never go at Sean or call him out publicly on bullshit. Here we go. Someone from the SRS camp is gonna make Sean see this, and he's gonna say something to me. And I'm just saying, bro, be consistent. Don't sit here and say you're the police on misinformation and you're sitting here giving fucking Jacob a slap on the wrist. No, go verbally eviscerate him publicly the same way you would in fucking Air Gold or Tony Garcia or any other motherfucker out here. Instead of the one motherfucker who's anti-WWE and pro AEW and pro anything that Sean might be pro of. I think it's kind of fucking, convenient. But I'm sorry, there's my Sicko Soapbox. I went for like 10 minutes. You guys, I'll shut up for the rest of the show if I fucking have to.
And that was DJ, ladies and gentlemen. But let's move on. King and Queen of the Ring. I know we talked a little bit about this yesterday on your Space Zeus, but it's getting interesting. Seth Rollins was eliminated on Monday, even though he was the favorite. So how do you personally see this going? And we're gonna go around. We'll get everyone's opinions on it. But let's just start with just the men right now.
Just the men's King of the Ring. I honestly don't know, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because on the one hand, one of my criticisms of WWE recently has just been it's been too safe and kind of too predictable. And I don't think this has been predictable, but it has been a bit odd in terms of the choices they've made. And when you look at the brackets now and you map a route to the final, you're kind of thinking, well, outside of Obafemi, where's the star power for a potential SummerSlam main event? So I'm a bit torn on it, to be honest. I had Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker in the final, and obviously they both got eliminated in week 1. So that threw my prediction in the trash straight away. But in terms of where I see it going, I mean, if it's not Obafemi, which I don't think it will be because of the Brock Lesnar situation, I think LA Knight. That's just my guess, but I've guessed twice so far this tournament, and they've both been wrong. So probably happen a third time. But yeah, I just got a feeling it's LA Knight. And the sad thing is that I think if it is LA Knight who's finally going to get, that opportunity to have a big spotlight, I think it's too little, too late, because he's nowhere near as hot as he was. And you'd ask yourself, why didn't they do this a year ago? So I'm going to go LA Knight, but I honestly have no idea.
Yeah. Let's get our newbie here, Hollywood Gump.
Yeah, dude. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, what's your prediction right now? Seeing that, Seth was the favorite and he's out. As far as we got on one side of the bracket, we got Obafemi against Dom Mysterio this week. On the other side, we only have Javon Evans. We're gonna have a 4-way tomorrow on SmackDown. But who do you see, winning this thing?
So I never really had Seth Rollins as a favorite to begin with, to be honest with you, man, because he's tied up in a story. You know, he's still got this fucking vision shit looming over him. It might be close to an end, but you still got it. Obafemi, you know, he's got the stuff with Brock Lesnar. I could definitely see Brock showing up. When is the next one that Oba's in? Is it Monday?
Monday against Dom Mysterio, yeah.
Yeah, I could see Brock showing up and costing Oba the match. But yeah, I agree. LA Knight, dude, and I get you saying that it might be a little too late for LA Knight. I think that's true with him as a babyface. I think we could potentially see him turn heel if he does end up losing to Roman Reigns. He takes out Jey Uso or Jimmy Uso or some shit like that. So that's where I'm going right now. I'm thinking LA Knight, and I'm thinking we see something different with him after he loses.
I'd love to see a heel turn, definitely.
Me too, bro.
So I'm like,
oh, go ahead, DJ.
Oh, no, you're good. I was silent for a second just because Aaron needed a drink, but I'm with John on most of that. You know what I mean? Especially with the direction they're kind of going now. But it just, to me, having only Raw guys in King of the Ring kind of buries SmackDown more to me. You know what I mean? To an extent. Like, yeah, let's just put only Raw guys in there because SmackDown sucks and none of the stars can win anything ever. Except for Cody. Unless your name's Cody, then, you know, he wins everything. But everyone else is just a bunch of fucking losers on that roster. So, you know what I mean? I feel like a SmackDown person has to go to the finals and kind of win this thing because there's no direction for Cody right now. And I feel like whoever wins King of the Ring will have some momentum going for him. Now, they can prove me wrong in the Royce Keys shit right now. I'll tell you that much. That's the first fucking thing they can do. They can push that guy to actually give him a real push instead of doing what I've been saying they're doing is giving the illusion of a push. And let's let Royce Keys win King of the Ring and have him go against Cody for his first big feud. What the fuck else? Literally, what the fuck else is Cody going to do? And worst case scenario, they get a solid 10-minute match. Randy Orton returns, costs Royce Keys the match, and then the next pay-per-view, we have a three-way. And we prolong the Cody Randy eventual rematch a little longer instead of just let's do it the first chance we get.
But then you'll say they're burying Royce when Randy comes in.
No, because again, you're being featured in a three-way between Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. That to me is a push. That's when DJ will sit here and say, I'm fucking wrong. They're doing something right with Royce Keys. It took them a fucking while to get there, but they got there. Let's see how it goes. But again, this is me overhyping myself, and WWE ain't going to exceed the expectations that I am setting for them right there. So, yeah. But give me 2 seconds, guy. Aaron is calling daddy.
I agree that, we have to have a SmackDown guy in there. That's why I think, LA Knight and Jey Uso are going to eliminate each other from the match on tomorrow. So, that I think they're going to it's not going to be Royce Keys. I think they're going to give it to Balor. But I think either one, whether it's Finn Balor or Royce Keys against Javon Evans in the semifinals, is going to be that clash in styles type. You got the scrappy little high flyer against at least with Royce a powerhouse. It's kind of like Jeff Hardy against Batista.
Yeah, it's the classic David and Goliath, isn't it?
Right. But
which
then
we love.
It's also Finn's first match on SmackDown. Are you going to have him lose his first match on SmackDown?
Finn Balor,
so it's
baby.
like
yes, because that's what you predicted, motherfucker.
Finn Balor.
Mm-hmm.
So
you better believe that. That's literally what you said.
I know, but then people have changed my point of view because I was thinking about it. You're right. Although, especially with the way it's laid out now, it's it's only Raw. I think a Raw guy is going to win it no matter what. I don't think we're getting any of these guys against Cody.
See, that's why I disagree with you. I think because Roman's whole thing right now is family or friends of the family. So, and you don't need any gimmick to get there. You don't need King of the Ring to get there with Seth. You don't need King of the Ring to get there with Solo. You don't need King of the Ring to get there with Jacob because Jacob's already in the shits now. You don't need it for Jay because Jay's also already in the bloodline, and they're not going to. I think Jay's going to go back to the tag team. He's not going to stay a single for long because they don't need him anymore as a single. Like, there's other guys who can fill his spot now and other guys who are getting over, a la fucking Chad Gable now. So I don't think we really need the Yeet Man no more. I think he can go back to being a tag team with his brother with the Nostalgia Act and help build some tag teams in that division. And eventually, hopefully, we can maybe, you know, just have one tag division instead of two belts. But that's just me being optimistic. But yeah, no, honestly, the best thing they can do right now with the tournament is have Royce Keys win, because Dominic doesn't need to be King of the Ring, and he doesn't need a match with Roman, especially if he's focusing on AAA and Triple Mania now, and they're building to that, the him in an eventual El Grande fucking match, which is going to be 10 times as much money as fucking the El Grande match, I'll tell you that much. You can't, Oba's stuck with Brock. Oba and Brock is a thing. Brock is going to fuck up Oba's chances of winning King of the Ring at some point. So that is an eventuality.
I don't
And
think
then you
it's
got
Monday.
the other side of the roster,
I
or the
think
other
it's gonna,
side of the fence.
I think it's going to be in Saudi in the finals. I don't see it being tomorrow, Monday.
How do you
Even if
have
it is
Monday play
even
out?
if it is the finals, though, it's gonna happen eventually. But
How
go
do
ahead,
you
Sue, sorry.
how do you have Monday if Oba wins on Monday just straight up? How do you play that out? Because obviously, realistically, Dom doesn't have a chance, but also you don't want to have. I mean, do you have Oba just squash him? Because that seems to be, if there's going to be no shenanigans or interference of Brock Lesnar, that seems to be the only realistic thing that's going to happen.
If
But
they
yeah,
wanted to be a competitive match, what they could do is have JD, you know, cause some slight interference for Dom to be able to get a quick edge in the beginning of the match. You know, Dom gets some heat and Oba kind of work under until he finally powers up and says, yo, this is stupid. I can kick the shit out of you.
I don't know.
That could be a
I
thing.
think even that after Obafemi took 7 F5s, they now have to be very, very careful as to what makes him look weak. And I just don't think Dom and JD doing anything to make him look anything other than unstoppable. I just don't think it's going to be a good look after he takes 7 F5s and, you know, almost, you know, still kind of comes within a whisker of winning. I think they've put Oba in a very, you know, a very prestigious position, as they should, but then they have to be careful as to how they handle that, because, you know, now he's basically unstoppable, and he, by all accounts, he should just run through Dom and JD, to be honest. Even if it was a handicap match, I would expect Oba just to go through both of them. So I don't know how they're going to play out, unless Brock does actually come in on Monday. But
I mean, I feel like he kind of has to come in. I feel like everything's set for Brock to come in on Monday, because it would kind of be the perfect situation for Dom to get some heel heat by beating, quote unquote, beating Oba without having to do anything but maybe a frog splash
or count out.
or a count out. You know what I mean? Or Oba can't, even before Oba comes in on his entrance, Brock comes in while the lights are out, 2 or 3 F5s. They never start the match. Dom technically wins because he has no opponent. That gets him some heat. I beat Obafemi. He couldn't even compete. He was too scared to compete against me. Blah, blah, blah. That gets Dominic more heat, especially going into Triple Mania, which is what they drastically need going into El Grande versus Dominic. They need him to be the biggest heel he can be, for that to be the biggest moment they can make for AAA on their biggest show.
the problem with that is if you have Brock show up on Monday, you still have, it's only June. You still got July, and then it's August 1st, but you still got over a month to get, you know, to SummerSlam. And then you're not going to have Oba in Saudi because he won't be in the finals. I just think that doing it there is more.
It'd make more sense because it'd appease the Saudis, and if the Saudis want Brock Lesnar, they get Brock Lesnar. But like I said, I think everything's set up for Monday for Brock to be there just because it's Dominic and Oba. It's almost too obvious that Oba's going to just either squash the shit out of him or something's going to happen. It's one of those. It's either or. It's not going to be a competitive 15-minute banger between Oba Femi and Dominic Mysterio. No, Oba's going to throw him across the ring, power bomb 1, 2, 3, or Brock Lesnar hits him before the bell ring. Dom gets a count out victory or hits the frog splash and a win.
I think even if Brock does show up, I wouldn't have Dom pin over Femi. No matter what happens, I'd just do it as a count out or something. It's the best way to kind of keep him strong.
It works differently if Brock helps Dom get the pin, because it doesn't make Oba look weak. It's not like Oba really lost. Dom gets the pin as the chicken shit heel. So that's really what gives him the heat, because it's the illusion of, Dominic would never beat Oba Femi in a real true one-on-one fight, but he did. And he can use that to crow over people saying, I'm the only one who beat Oba Femi. And you know what I mean?
I do. But again, we've got this issue where they've just had him survive like 6 F5s. And that was like a few weeks ago. So let's say Brock comes out, does 1 F5, and Dom hits a frog splash and Oba stays down for the 3. Then people are rightly going to say, well, he survived 6 F5s last time. Why is it?
To that point, I agree. I agree to that point. I'm thinking of the mindset that Brock's doing like 3 F5s, then a frog splash. That protects Oba, I think, to a certain extent in a loss. But if they just do 1 F5 and a frog splash and let Dominic pin him, I'd be like you and going, what the fuck are we doing? Because I just think a count out's a safe option, and Dom has got this kind of real cocky attitude where he could brag about a count out victory as if it was a pinfall victory just through his delusion. I think he's got that kind of delusional heel character archetype down. So I think if he is going to win, I'd probably do it as just a count out where Brock takes him through the barricade, puts him through the announce table, couple of F5s outside, that kind of thing. But I don't know. I agree with Brandon that Brock turning up at Saudi is the money move, and that's what they care about. That's what he cares about. The Saudis always want Brock Lesnar when they can. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
It's also more of an impact to cost them the finals than the semifinals.
Yeah.
Especially. I mean, let's just say it is LA Knight, for example, just for the match. Oba's got him, he freaking hits him with everything. He's got him dead to rights. Brock comes in, costs him the match. That's going to hurt Oba more than, having him chase Paul Heyman outside and get counted out. Plus, it helps, whoever the opponent's going to be, that they beat Oba Femi. Whether it's Brock
LA
or
Knight
not.
gets a pin over Oba.
Yeah. Because you got to sell LA Knight versus Roman, assuming LA wins. And you need something strong, especially that, we've seen his stock go down so much in LA Knight, in the last year and a half. You need something to really sell that as a main event for SummerSlam. But
my bad. I'm upping of the shut fuck now.
No,
just because I feel like I'm talking too much
John,
on my own show.
What's your take on the way they've been booking Oba Femi?
I mean, I don't have a problem with it, dude. I think it's been good. I like the open challenge they were doing. I don't remember. He hasn't done it since the match with Brock, has he? Because he's been in these King of the Ring matches.
No, the open challenge was just to set up Brock's return. Everyone was like, "Oh, they don't have any ideas for them." That was literally the story to get to Brock Oba 2 was the open challenge. So
yeah, but he looks strong, man. And the loss to Brock was there's no problem there. I mean, because he's 100% going to beat him in the rubber match, probably at SummerSlam. So I like it, dude. I got no issues here.
And there's no rush with Oba. Everyone's like, "Oh, he's got to win the title at Summer." No, he doesn't.
Right.
He's got time. Everyone wants this instant gratification. You got to let things simmer and cook. Otherwise, you're eating
not
it
only
raw.
that, dude. The first title reigns are always terrible, man. Like, look back at just about everybody. That first title reign is always just awful. So why rush him into that and try to ruin any sort of momentum that he has now?
on top of the fact the way that Triple H has been booking champions, you don't really want Oba having the title at this point. I mean, Liv Morgan hasn't defended the title. You know, Cody, I think he's defended it once since Mania. I mean, it's just like he doesn't book champions like that. So, you know, we're not going to get Oba wrestling if he's the champion.
When you're not the champion, you can squash everybody that you face. When you're the champion, you can only be in these, 10, 15-minute bangers.
I also look at it as the Undertaker effect when it comes to the title, because you got to eventually beat Oba. You know, so you need someone who's going to believably beat Oba. So, you know, who's going to be a believable opponent for an Oba Femi, whether it's a feud or even, you know, to beat him for the championship.
The final boss, brother.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, that's you need someone like major like that.
That's what I'm saying. The Rock, brother.
I mean, that's why Taker.
I don't know what you're talking about. They're setting up WWE India right now. It's going to be the Great Khali.
Huge pop.
All right. Let's ask, as you brought up the Great Khali, so who's worse, Great Khali or John Gonzalez?
Johnny Gonzalez.
Yeah,
Gonzalez.
For sure.
Khali to a certain extent could kind of work.
I mean, they're both terrible. Let's not get it twisted. They are both awful. But one
I wouldn't
is just...
say Khali was off. I feel like Khali doesn't get a lot. He wasn't for a guy who had no mobility whatsoever.
Yeah,
he was a decent
Dude,
heel.
I go through a period where I go, like, Royal Rumble season, I'll go back and I'll watch some old Royal Rumbles, even the bad ones, and I watch them chronologically. And I go through this period of like 2010 to 2014 where the Great Khali's in every single one. And every single year, Michael Cole says, how are they going to get him over the top rope? And I'm like, well, go watch last year, because someone did it every year.
Can we all admit, though, Beth Phoenix had the best elimination of the Great Khali from the Royal Rumble?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
That's the only one I remember. That's the only time I remember Khali getting eliminated was Beth Phoenix.
She basically
remind me.
She went into the men's Royal Rumble and she kissed him and pulled him over the top rope.
Oh, I do remember.
It was great. And then CM Punk eliminated her.
See, Great Khali's only issue is he can't bend his legs. If he could bend his freaking knees,
does he have
his
knees?
legs at the knees,
is it just two? I don't know. Just two legs? Is that it? No knees, just like just one huge, two massive quads.
It's like Groot walks. It's like Groot walking.
Yeah.
All right, but let's shift over to the Queen of the Ring tournament. So on one side we already have Io Sky against Raquel Rodriguez. And then on the other side, we have, who won it? Oh, we got Liv won on Monday. And then tomorrow we got another 4-way with Soruka, Valkyria, Flair, and Cargill. Now, I read today that internally there is talk of a SummerSlam match between Charlotte and Jade. So I think that's going to eliminate them. I think it's going to be Soruka.
Which is weird because you're going to have the Intercontinental Championship versus the World Championship in the King of the Ring tournament, which is so weird. But yeah, it looks likely.
I mean, otherwise it's Lyra in my, unless Charlotte wins it and then Jade comes back and costs her the match against Liv the following week.
It would be Rhea, not Liv. I thought it was brand specific.
No, I'm talking within the tournament.
Oh, okay.
Because Liv won, so it would be Liv versus whoever wins the 4-way in the semifinals.
Ooh, I mean, I want it to be Charlotte because I feel like that makes the most sense for SummerSlam as a women's match. Rhea versus Charlotte for the world title or women's champ, whatever belt this is. I forget the fucking difference between the belts. They're the same thing, just different colors. But I don't know. The women's is, I like the fact that the women's is more of, okay, it's up in the air. I obviously want Raquel to win because she's been kind of, I don't know, her and Kiana James low-key have been the aces of the women's division to me, at least in my eyes. Like Kiana in terms of she's been a breakout star. Every match I see her in, it seems like she gets better. And I feel like not enough people talk about it, and they need to, because she has improved drastically from last year on the mic,
They're
as a
unsung heroes,
personality.
definitely.
Go ahead, Zeus.
They're unsung heroes, both of them. Like, they're really underrated, I think.
And yeah, and Raquel, she came back after, I forgot what her condition is, but it was flaring up really bad. She came back after that in better shape. She works more confidently now. She used to be more, how can I say this kindly, like lanky and stiff in the ring, to where
the great Khali.
yes, to where she's no, more like
Great
The
callback.
Mexican version.
but like she seems more comfortable now in her own skin.
Thanks
So
to
it's
Kevin
like,
Nash.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
exactly. So
Big
it's
sexy.
like, now that she's more confident in herself, and that confidence has started to leak everywhere in her personality, her promos, her work. Like, you can't say anything bad about Raquel anymore, especially in 2026. So, and I feel like she's kind of due a girl her size who can work the way she does is kind of due a world title reign eventually.
I
What do you
agree.
think of a lot of people on social media are kind of I wouldn't say bad mouthing Raquel, but they kind of seem annoyed that it's going to be Raquel. I don't know though whether that's because it's Raquel or whether
You
because
want to know why?
people are fed up with the Judgment Day.
I'm gonna tell you the real reason. It's because of Roxanne. It's because everything in the Judgment Day right now, especially Raquel, is overshadowing Roxanne. Roxanne right now is a background character, to where
Which is fine for now.
which is fine for now. But I feel like Roxanne is one of those people who has that dedicated of a fan base, to where, you know what I mean? People will sit here and tear something down because the person they like isn't being elevated.
Which is stupid, really. Let's be honest.
It is, but you get what I mean.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Roxanne has is kind of like the newish Mercedes, has the newish Mercedes kind of fan lore, like, or the Liv fan lore, or the Rhea fan lore. You feel me? She has her own group of fans that are dedicated to specifically her and her succeeding, especially on the main roster now. So I feel like a lot of people don't like the fact that Raquel's being elevated before Roxanne, or that Roxanne isn't being elevated at all.
But see, I disagree with that, because there's a story being told within this tournament when it comes to the Judgment Day. And we kind of saw it on Monday. Roxanne looks like, she's smartened up to Liv's bullshit, and she's trying to play both sides now. So, I think we're going to end up having, at SummerSlam, we're going to end up having a three-way between the three Judgment Day girls.
And I think that if the Roxanne fans are unhappy, I think that, if your favorite gets called up from NXT, like Roxanne did, I think getting added to the Judgment Day within the last 4 years is probably the best thing that can happen to you, because you are on TV every single week, multiple segments, multiple things going on. And, Roxanne has been on television outside of injury and absence pretty much every week, which is the best thing you can hope for when somebody first gets called up.
It's
So I
kind of
don't see any problem at all.
it might be a bad comparison, but it's almost like being part of Don Callis' family.
Yeah, I mean, it's minutes, isn't it?
It's a punchline, but you you're going to be on TV every week, even if you're not wrestling.
Yeah, even though there's 300 of them, but
Right, but either way, you're going to end up getting TV time. Whether you're there for 30 seconds in a background shot, or you're doing a run-in to beat up whoever, you're still getting
it's
TV
important.
time.
It's better than being back in catering.
Right. But I also think that, back to what I said when we're talking about the men's, is that everyone wants, instant gratification. But, WWE builds on stories. And I think we're seeing that, they're slowly building the story when it comes to Roxanne. And I almost see it with the Roxanne and Liv stuff as almost, Triple H and Batista of Evolution. Eventually Batista overheard. He was on to Triple H's bullshit. And we got the famous thumbs down with the after we won the Rumble. But I think it's something similar to that what we're seeing with Roxanne. It's just gonna come out a bit differently. In fact, I'm gonna actually go ahead and say I think Roxanne's gonna win Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I do as well.
See, I can see her winning Rumble. I think people are forgetting she was the Iron Woman 2 years ago. They don't do that unless they have plans on you winning the fucking thing eventually. And I think if there ever was a year to win it, this is the year to do it, especially if you are doing a Judgment Day breakup and dissension, and you kind of want to elevate someone to Liv's level at some point. You can kind of do it with Roxanne as a babyface. She doesn't have to be the bitchy heel, even though she is really good at it. Maybe turn her babyface. Maybe it's time for a change or something.
So there's two ways we can do this. So you can either have, because the elephant in the room as well is that Io versus Rhea still needs to happen, and Rhea needs to beat Io. So Io could win Queen of the Ring and face Rhea at SummerSlam, and then Roxanne wins the Rumble. Or someone else wins Queen of the Ring and Io Sky wins the Rumble if Rhea holds the title that long. Because you think Io versus Rhea is going to be either SummerSlam or WrestleMania. I don't really think it can happen anywhere else. It's that big. So I guess it depends on what plans they have with that.
Unless they do another Evolution.
Yeah, I guess so.
You got to remember, they also just moved Money in the Bank to October. It's literally before Survivor Series, too. So
that's going to be weird.
That's also like them changing up when they're doing Money in the Bank is definitely throwing a lot of. I think they're definitely planning on using the briefcase at Mania.
I like it though because it gets rid of the predictability of win the briefcase then cash in at SummerSlam, which we've seen, for many, many years. So I don't mind the change of schedule. Like you say, and make it more interesting, and it's less time. Well, it's not less time; it's the same time. But yeah, it's more likely to happen at Rumble or at Mania. Can you imagine it cashing in during the Rumble? Can you imagine that?
I mean, technically,
that would be hilarious.
We ever seen that? Is that ever?
It's possible, technically, right? So
it's never
only
happened,
if it was like, remember how Brock and Roman had to defend the belt in the Rumble? Those 2 times when it happened, it could be like a scenario like that where Cody doesn't have a challenger, and they're like, you know what, Cody, you got to defend the belt in the Rumble, and you're number 1.
Yeah, because the champion would have to actually be in the match for them to cash in. And they're not gonna. Let me ask you something. What is your take on Liv being in the tournament? Because I know I see a lot of people saying that it makes no sense and all that. But if you paid attention to what she said in the post-media scrum bullshit they do, she said she wants it all. So she wants to have both titles. So I don't see a problem with it. I mean, it kind of was explained.
They gave us an explanation. That's all we could ask for. If she was in it and they didn't say anything about it, then it wouldn't make sense. But
yeah,
whether you like the explanation or not, they've told you why she's in the tournament. And Liv being greedy and wanting Rhea's title as well fits her character. So I don't hate it. I think behind the scenes, it's probably just for her to kind of keep being on TV until Stephanie Vaquer gets back, perhaps. Because they obviously don't want to put her in anything semi to long term for some reason. So I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all.
And now that you brought up Stephanie, that could also be another problem because WWE has a way of not being very creative. And I'm afraid they're going to maybe do the same thing with Oba they're going to do with Liv and have interference cost the person in the finals. So I think Stephanie could possibly return to cost Liv. But that's like the same scenario that we've talked about with Oba. So it's like.
What was her injury?
Something with her, I think it's her shoulder, right?
Probably. It's everybody's shoulder.
It's a lot of shoulder injuries, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the shoulder is the new quad.
Hold on, Brandon. Let me ask you a question. Because here's the thing about Saudi. I don't think I can remember, at least if someone can point it out to me, let me know. But when's the last time they did like a contested finish or, you know, a screwy finish in Saudi?
I don't remember that many Saudi shows, unfortunately. They're
I don't
usually not
either,
very
dude.
memorable.
No, I do.
Yeah.
As
Was it-
someone
was
who
it Cody
does remember
Gunther?
the Saudi shows, I don't remember them doing any like screwy finishes in front of that crowd.
Wasn't it Gunther, Randy Orton?
That wasn't meant to be a screwy finish. That was a
Okay.
botch.
Yeah.
And they just covered it up as a screwy finish.
Okay.
But like
know.
that, it wasn't purposely meant to be a botch. Like you feel me? It wasn't meant to be like that. It was meant to be, you know, a clean victory, but it was contested. Obviously, they had to because his shoulders weren't down.
Yeah.
I feel like the King of the Ring, in its essence, it should be a tournament where there is no interference, like the Continental Classic in AEW. I like the fact that even though it's, you know, suspending disbelief, is like, why can't you do that for every match? I get it, but I like the fact that in the Continental Classic there is no interference and it's just the best person wins. And I feel like, you know, if you want to bring prestige back to the King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring, you know, that's what I'd like. That's how I'd like to see a tournament like that, you know, progress. Just the best person wins on the night.
The problem with Triple H is he's afraid to beat people.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
He
Especially
overprotects talents because he thinks if they lose a match, they're going to lose stock.
That's not a Triple H thing. That's a WWE thing. Let's not just hold that to Triple H. Vince did that shit a lot too.
Who's the current head of creative?
I'm just saying though, that's more of a WWE mindset of thing. Sean does the same thing. Sean overprotects motherfuckers too.
I mean, he had Mason Rook lose last night, so
that guy doesn't need to be overprotected, except from catering. But go ahead. My bad, Hollywood.
No, I was just laughing. Mason Rook. Get out of here.
what a name.
Get out of here.
It sounds like someone who should have a chess gimmick.
Definitely.
Like,
Well, yeah, we got Ben Bishop, we've got Queen Aminata, Mason Rook, and LA Knight.
And Lexi King.
And Lexis King. We just need somebody with porn in their name, and then we got a whole chess set.
Call him check. I'm going to steal this from DC. Hopefully, they're not listening. Checkmate. There's a group. There's a group in DC Comics called Checkmate. So there you go.
Book it. That's what we're gonna do. I think it's a great idea.
I'm changing my name is no longer DJ. My new name is Richard Pawn.
You're gonna have to spell that every time.
You can just call me Dick for short.
Okay.
Dick
Porn. That's what your name is.
And that's gonna be my catchphrase too. My matches are short, but not that long. Unless I pop a pill before I do my match, and then they'll go like 15 minutes longer.
His matches are very girthy. They're not long. They're not long, but they got girth to them.
Okay, stop fucking with me. I'll make this into a goddamn gimmick and put it on an indie. Stop fucking with me. You'll see an indie show of just, it's me, Dick Pawn.
You'll form a faction called the Girthright.
Yo, I'm telling you, we're writing better TV than Russo right now. Hire us for JCW.
Let's go.
His matches are colder in the. I mean, damn it! I screwed it.
You fucked up the punch. God damn it!
His matches are shorter in the winter,
or when it's raining out.
I'll have two finishes. One of them will be called significant shrinkage.
Well, you got to have the small package for sure.
No, God, yeah, the small package.
To all my Seinfeld fans, that popped all of them in the audience.
Both of them.
Bro, you pulling up Seinfeld, which came out probably before you were born, is crazy work.
Motherfucker, they ran reruns on that shit for like 30 years. What are you talking about?
I know. I'm just saying, you bringing it up,
You don't understand. Growing up in the 2000s, that shit was on Fox constantly.
All the time. 24/7,
like at least twice every hour.
I just got out of the pool.
What's disappointing about that bass line is it was done on a keyboard. That's what really sucks, man.
Yeah.
All right, time to switch it up, bitches. Wild card motherfuckers, I'm taking over on this one because we had Dynamite, aka Collision Light, this week, and let's all be honest. Do we all hate Forbidden Door season? Is it not the worst time of the year to be an AEW fan?
I think it's time we have to get rid of Forbidden Door as a concept. It just doesn't work anymore. You know, how can
John,
you
go ahead. Or go ahead, Brandon. My bad.
I was just gonna say, how do you keep having a Forbidden Door? First off, the door's always open all year round. You know, I put it to the same thing as, you know, a decade and a half ago when we had the brand split, and it was the hard brand split. And you never had any crossover except for like a major event. Like, remember how big it was when Undertaker was gonna fight Randy because they were on opposite brands? It was like a big thing. But then they got rid of the brand split. Now it's like when they get crossover, it's okay, whatever. That's what I feel like we're doing with Forbidden Door. It's like you guys have these guys coming in all year round. So what makes Forbidden Door so special anymore? Plus, on top of it, you freaking tore apart New Japan anyway. They have no one over there. So
there you go.
Yeah, that's it. That was my thing, man. Like they really don't have a lot of stars. You know, so they don't have any names. So I mean, you know, there's no drawing power whatsoever. So it's just kind of a meaningless concept at this point.
I enjoyed it the first maybe 2 or 3 years, but yeah, I agree. I think that, you know, I really enjoy for the most part AEW's pay-per-views. But Forbidden Door, I think, is the one where I probably have the least investment, and that's largely due to I'm just not familiar, nor do I have time to become familiar with the likes of CMLL and New Japan. And, you know, I like little bits of CMLL. I think Hechicero is really good, but, you know, and there doesn't seem much investment going into it. However, I did enjoy the first couple, but like you said, Brandon, the door is pretty much always open, and you had people like Tomohiro Ishii on TV every week, and while he was part of New Japan, and, you know, that relationship kind of just stayed forever. And
he's part of the conglomeration. He's literally in a group. He's literally in a group in AEW. So
is he still signed with? Who is he still signed with New Japan? I don't even know who he signed with. Is he New Japan signed, or has he got a dual contract?
He's dual contracted.
Okay.
Yeah, but he was literally on Dynamite last night.
But see, so here's my thing. Instead of the door being open, I think it's more of the back window. I wouldn't say it's the full door because it's not like anyone and everyone comes through. They do get like every 2 months they'll get someone from New Japan on the show for 2 weeks, and then they'll be gone. But I think this is more like I said, I think Forbidden Door to Tony has become the concept of, let's see who I can get to come to AEW this year. And since he pretty much gutted New Japan for everything they're worth, to where New Japan just got sold at Boys and Girls. Let's remember that fact that no one's really been talking about lately. New Japan just got sold.
I didn't know that.
And, you know, they just got sold. Bushy Road does not own New Japan no more. They are owned by some type of Japanese media company, the Japanese media company who already had a piece of ownership in it anyway.
And you're forgetting one other part of that, DJ. They own Noah.
And they own Noah. So there's potentially eventually a WWE crossover in the future if WWE wants to do underhanded tactics to even become potentially a monopoly eventually, even though they're not really a monopoly and can't be, but they're going to try their best to be. But I think in terms of it's going to be CMLL now. Again, we're already seeing likes of Mystico, Hechicero. You're going to see a lot more of the people in CMLL who are getting over want to go to Tony, because Tony will sit here and say, hey, I got this paycheck for you that's way more than the fucking 500 pesos you're making per show. I could pay you way more than that. It's kind of what he's doing to the TNA talent. You don't think why do you think people are leaving TNA in bulk? It's not because, and that's the thing. A lot of these people are getting fucked up. And I know this is a side tangent, but I wanted to bring this up because I heard someone else talking about it on another show, and it kind of irked me. Like, everyone's bringing up TNA like TNA is the problem. And don't get me wrong, some of TNA's infrastructure is kind of the problem. But let's not sit here that Tony Khan isn't sitting here waving bags of money over TNA talent's head to make them jump over because he is threatened of TNA, the little brother, possibly catching up and making him look even smaller.
Which is
Tony
funny
won't admit
because
it publicly.
TNA is their own worst enemy. So, you know,
No, that's a fact. But no, but when they got that TV deal, because let's be honest, no one in their right fucking mind thought TNA would seriously get a TV deal. Even with WWE's help, it was looking kind of scarce for a moment. So the fact that they got the TV deal lit a fire under Tony's ass, because as soon as they heard about that, how many TNA talents did Tony sign?
11.
Josh Alexander, Mike.
11.
I was going to name them all, but I'm glad you counted it for me. Because, you know what I mean? He doesn't do that if he don't think they're a threat, because a lot of those talents in TNA, like the Inspiration, ain't doing shit nowhere else. They're not even doing shit in AEW. They're in Ring of Honor right now.
He signed them just to keep them away from TNA or WWE.
Yes.
Who's been the most
it wasn't even to keep them away from WWE. It was to take them away from specifically TNA. Let's not sit here and address the elephant in the room now. Again, Tony Khan, in the history of Tony Khanism, in the past 6 years before they got a TV deal, wasn't out here signing every TNA talent like that he saw. You know what I mean? It was New Japan, CMLL, AAA, and WWE. TNA was purgatory, as it was. But then he signs 12 this year off rip after they finally start on television? Come on now. You'd be stupid not to see the coincidence.
I haven't really kept up with AEW this year as much as I'd like to. But out of those 12, who's kind of been the most successful in AEW of the TNA signings?
I'm saying this just to piss off one motherfucker.
But it's the truth also. You know what? It doesn't matter if it pisses him off because it's the truth.
Speedball is the truth. No, it's the fucking truth. It's the fact. It's the fact and truth. Speedball has been the best pushed TNA talent on AEW television in the past year. That's the fact and truth. You haven't seen jack shit off of Josh Alexander. Jake Doyle just came back from injury.
Josh Alexander's injured.
I'm saying though, even when he was ably bodied, what the fuck you see him do?
He was Pin Balor. He was taking the pins for the Don Callis family.
He lost his first
Doyle's
match,
been hurt, but got hurt immediately and has been thrown in a makeshift tag team. Like, who else did we talk? The Rascals are fucking Collision All-Stars. They're trapped on Saturdays. We can't fucking find them on regular television because they're trapped on Saturdays or whatever day Collision decides to fucking be on. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, Speedball, despite the one motherfucker who's going to say something to me about this, has been the most successful TNA crossover talent in AEW this year. By far.
You can't deny the fact, you can not like him or whatever, but you can't deny the fact that, he's absolutely been pushed, especially with Kevin Knight of all these ex-TNA guys. So, you may not like him, but it doesn't change the facts. Facts over feelings.
He's been pushed, and to the AEW audience, he's gotten over. To people like me and Leo, he fucking does suck. But I do admit from time to time, like the Okada match, and I forgot the other match. I think it was the Fletcher match.
Kyle Fletcher.
Where
yes.
I sat there and said, you know what? These were actually good matches of Speedball. I can sit and objectively say that as a wrestling fan, despite I don't like most of his matches and think he has the charisma of a carrot.
He probably just needs the right dance partner.
You know what I mean? Exactly. But like,
listen, Speedball is not, he's not a horrible wrestler. He just has a really cringy gimmick. And I think that's what a lot of people focus on. They focus on the Karate Kid with the fucking hairdo and, the mullet. And I think they focus more on that. And, oh, don't worry, Kevin. We'll figure it out. In the horrible promos. But when he actually could get in the ring and get going, he has good matches. And I don't like his character. I'm not a fan of his, but like you said, DJ, objectively, I can look at him and say he's had a good match with Kyle Fletcher. That was a great match with Okada. You can't allow that kind of bias to take away from the fact if someone has a good match.
Yeah, agreed.
He's a good wrestler, dude. He's just kind of a dork.
Exactly.
That's pretty much all there is to it. That's the only issue.
You know, but like you said, you got the Rascals who barely are on TV. You know, there was the whole debacle with Trey Miguel. You know, the Inspiration. What I don't think they even on. I don't think they've ever had a match on Dynamite. I think they had the one
No, they
match
were a
on
Grand Slam.
They haven't
weren't
had a match, but they have been on Dynamite.
They had that one match on
What do you-
Collision. I thought,
Weren't they at Grand Slam as well in Australia?
but that the house show, not on the actual show
The
itself.
house show.
Yeah, they debuted
Right.
What
on the
even
house
is
show.
the
they had.
Inspiration?
What was that?
What is the Inspiration? What the hell is that?
The Iconics.
The Iconics.
The Iconics, Billy
Oh.
Kay and other
Kay
one.
and Royce.
I forgot about that. That's
Sean
right.
Spears' girlfriend.
I just call her
wife.
Sean
Yeah.
Spears' wife. half the
Yeah.
time.
Mrs.
Yeah.
Spears.
Which is why I say I think with them, Tony signed them not to go to WWE because they were leaving TNA anyway. WWE would have made the most sense. Same way with, Macklin's going to go to AEW simply because, his wife's there. So he'll have fun in ROH Purgatory as well. But,
Who he's married to?
Don't get old, kids.
So you're saying that Tony Khan is trying to keep husbands and wives apart? Is that what you're trying to say? He's trying to wreck homes?
No, he's trying to keep them together.
Gotcha. You're saying some pretty heavy allegations there, Brandon.
It's like some Jerry Springer stuff.
Deanna Purrazzo.
Okay. But Brandon,
he
the
gets
most
to have
important
all that.
question
I
for
love
you.
her.
Oh,
man.
my man.
Brandon, the most
Yes.
important question for you is what do you think is going to happen with Leon Slater and Mike Santana?
In the next couple of years, we're going to see a whole different WWE. But no, all kidding
Hold
aside.
on. No. Brandon, serious question. With the influx of all this talent leaving TNA, how do you think that TNA is going to get more talent in the indies in the future?
Not sign them for more than 3 months at a time.
I mean, that is a real question, yeah.
I
'Cause at
think
some
also,
point, they're going to have no one left.
but we're joshing on Dylan here, but Leon Slater is
I love
actually.
Dylan. No, fuck you guys. I love Dylan. I was just joining in on the joke because I thought I did a good Dylan impression. Okay.
But the serious thing about the Leon Slater thing is he's 50-50, I think. I don't think he's a slam dunk for WWE.
No, I don't either. Depends what he wants.
Especially if their plan is to take him to NXT.
Yeah, but if he wants money and that's it, then AEW is definitely an option. But if he wants like connections and Hollywood and brand deals and sponsorships, then WWE is probably the better fit. So I guess it all depends on what he wants. And
He's
his
also
agent, I
22
guess.
years old as well. So,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah, he can afford to do both.
get your bag now, go to AEW for 2 to 3 years. WWE is going to end up wanting to get you anyway. And then you'll be 26 years old to go to WWE for the next 15
Yeah.
years. So, I mean, I think Mike Santana is a slam dunk for WWE. Obviously, he's not
Mhm.
going to
He
want to
ain't
go
going
back.
I think so.
Right. He's not going back to AEW. And supposedly he's going to go directly to the main roster if you believe the dirt sheets. So,
He shouldn't. They need bodies in NXT. They need them badly,
I
especially
agree.
male bodies.
I won't see the bodies, but they do need them.
John's
Well, hold
favorite
on.
show is NXT.
I was going to say, let me
Famously.
segue to our next point, the next big thing that happened. Apparently, there's going to be a 6-on-6 match in a steel cage. Mark Briscoe and his goons versus MJF and was it 5 or 6 other people?
How big is this cage?
It's 6 altogether. It's one ring. So I think the cage is like a Hell in a Cell type cage. So I think there will be outside.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
but it is only one ring. Yeah, it's supposedly it's going to be 5 from the Don Callis family.
I think
And-
it's like it's like the size of a Hell in a Cell cage, but it doesn't have a roof. If it's the same one that they used,
Last year.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
when
you
the
can
Death
you can
Riders
get on-
killed Osprey.
right. So you can get on the outside of the ring. You can climb up to the top of the cage and
Yeah, got
all
you.
that.
Oh my God, that shit was so fucking stupid last year.
But
when they were just
all the baby
outside.
faces are just sitting out the cage and doing nothing. Like
Oh,
they
that's
can't
right.
climb the fucking cage and help their friend.
first thing that they did was they announced it was a triple main event for the Forbidden Door, which I hate that terminology. There's only one main event. The last match is the main event.
No, Brandon, stop that now. It all goes back to the older days of wrestling. There could be a co-main event. Triple main event is fucking pushing it, but there is a such thing as a co-main event now. Let's not sit here and act like that's too drastic.
For me, the last match is the only main event. I don't care what, you could say, it's a co-main event. You could say there's a double main event, but it's the last match is the main event.
I think what somebody should do, one of these promotions should do if they want to be revolutionary, is have a show of all main events.
Well, if you had a triple main event on a WWE show, that would be 3/4 of the whole show.
It's over, Brandon. We're gonna do it. We're gonna have an indie promotion of nothing, just main events, and we're gonna call it the Main Event Hub.
Call it Main Event Mania.
But I mean, I had a problem with this match getting announced because you're basically having one of your main event matches, and there's no one coming in from outside. So it's a major marquee match with major stipulation implications for the world title, because if Mark Briscoe's team wins, he gets a title match against MJF.
Jesus fucking Christ. Can I just state the obvious first? Didn't we just fucking do the same exact thing for the last fucking pay-per-view? Have a one team basically full of quote unquote stars and the other team full of fucking jobbers and mid-carders. Did we not literally just do this? Except now we're adding a cage to it. Now we're gonna somewhat structure the mayhem. Instead of everyone being everywhere, we're just gonna keep them in one place now.
At least that match had more name main eventers than what we're going to get, because we're basically getting the Don Callis family with MJF against the conglomeration.
Well, if Kyle's in there, and if Kyle's in there, you got at least 2 main eventers. If Andrade's in there, you get 2.5.
They announced Kevin Knight as the only one who was going to be in there, because Kevin Knight said to MJF, "I'll be there for you, but I get a title match." And then MJF was like, "I'll give you the title match, but when you lose, you're not getting another one." So
no, but I'm saying though, if you think of who they're putting in the Callis family as far as names and star power, they may even throw in the fucking sloth himself, Okada, because he ain't doing nothing. And this is the perfect match where he could just be lazy as fuck and do very little and pass by as the greatest wrestler of all time. So I could see Okada being in it, Andrade being in it, Kevin Knight being in it. Who the fuck did I say before Knight?
Fletcher.
Fletcher. So that's 4 more bodies right there. You just need 1 more. And again, that's fair amount of star power, way more amount of star power.
I can see Tony throwing in like one person from New Japan or CMLL just to give it a Forbidden Door.
It'll be
Romero.
No, it'll be Hiroshi Cesaro, because he's in the Don Callis family, but he's also the CMLL heavyweight champion. So this way
he's great as well. I really like him.
There's
great.
Your Forbidden Door, pal.
Or is this where you bring the New Day in, the Forbidden Door concept? I mean, obviously everybody knows that they've moved on from WWE, but
they're still under 90 days. I don't think they can.
Are they?
Man, it feels so long ago.
Yeah.
I think it's right before London is when they're going to be free.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Zeus is doing it. I hear the click clack. He's checking it out.
Hang on. 2nd of May.
2nd of May?
Yeah, that's when they were released.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
So it'd be August 2nd. 3 weeks before. And then
These non-competes are so stupid.
Machine Guns 2 would be around the same time as well.
Nah, I don't give a shit about them. I hate to be that guy.
They're a better fit for AEW, 100%.
Almost definitely. AEW is definitely a tag team promotion.
I'm going to bring up something that I tweeted yesterday that got a lot of traction. I want to get your guys' opinions on it. Lio Rush I
Mhm.
said that basically they're taking Leo Rush and they're trying to make up for the mistakes of Danhausen. And they're using Leo Rush in that Danhausen spot that they never used Danhausen for. So I just want to see if you guys agree with me in that. And I'm not saying that it's the same character as Danhausen, but they're using him in the same type of spot.
I mean, maybe. I see what you're saying. You know, it's sort of a supernatural type of gimmick. It's definitely totally different, obviously. Um, I don't see a problem with it though, man. I've seen people shit on it and stuff. It's new, it's unique, it's something different. Like, I don't see the big, the problem with it.
I've had a lot of kickback of people saying, "Oh, but the difference is he's a great wrestler and Danhausen can't wrestle." Like, okay, cool. That's got nothing to
That's
do with
true. Yeah.
that's got nothing to do with what I'm saying. What my point is, but it's not even the same. He had the Blackheart gimmick in New Japan and on the Indies, but it was nothing like that. It was more like the Demon in Finn Balor. That was kind of like what his Blackheart gimmick was. This is more Gollum from Lord of the Rings.
Oh, we're talking about Leo Rush now. Okay.
Yes.
And Bacala from Mortal Kombat.
So,
With the teeth and everything.
I just see it, to me, in my eyes, he's using Leo because Leo got a little bit of a push on social media for his antics, and he's using him more to like get some sort of social media thing than it is so much his wrestling. I mean, look, yesterday, I don't know if you guys saw it. He was, Andrade does the gimmick where he's taking pictures with, the OnlyFans girls.
Yeah, he was going, who knows? He knows.
Yeah. How he knows because apparently whoever he is. But I don't know if you heard the beginning, DJ. My whole point was I made a tweet that he's basically doing the Danhausen stuff that Tony didn't do with Danhausen.
I mean, kinda, I guess, not really though. I mean, I get what you're saying, but I think they're two completely different things.
I mean, if he is using him in terms of like if he is using him, like you say, in terms of the trying to get traction on social media, then that's what he should be doing because people have, clowned on Tony Khan for a long time that he doesn't do marketing, he doesn't care about this and doesn't do that. So if that is his intention with this type of gimmick, which there is always a place for in wrestling, then, I think that's what he should be doing is trying to garner attention through different avenues other than just wrestling.
And I think that's exactly what he's doing. Because, I mean, he's definitely not on TV for his wrestling because he's been there before, wasn't on TV really. He's been in other companies, he wasn't on TV. So it's definitely for attention.
Yeah,
which is cool.
Right, and I have no problem with it. But the whole point that I was making with it is that that's what he's using the Danhausen effect. Danhausen didn't come in for the wrestling; he came in for the merchandise and for the social media, and he's blowing up because of outside stuff, not because he's doing 640 splashes and stuff like that. I just feel it's the same thing. And
I'm sure he realizes. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, John.
Yeah, no, I'm sure he realizes he failed with Danhausen. I mean, because he let him sit on the bench for, dude, it felt like the entire time he was there.
It was 2 years.
Dude, and he could have been making so much money with him, so I'm sure he feels some type of way about it.
It's not even just Danhausen. Think of how much money they're making off the fucking Penta masks now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man.
Imagine how bad Tony's regretting that shit.
They had those masks on sale before he even debuted in the company.
And I'm going to actually give credit to our pal Air Gold, because he tweeted something with an interesting.
He's your pal.
Yeah.
Don't associate that bitch with me.
An interesting stat about Leo Rush. Listen to this. He used the AEW, the Blackheart gimmick in AEW for the first time at Revolution in March. And since then, he's wrestled 12 matches between AEW and ROH. Along with being on pretty much every show each week. Prior to the gimmick change, he wrestled 16 matches from January 2025 to March 2026.
There you go.
Yep.
So I'm sorry, it's not about his wrestling because he would be used otherwise if it was about Leo Rush's, acumen in the ring.
Pro wrestling is gimmicks, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, people like gimmicks. That's it.
But the sickos have convinced themselves that all it is about the wrestling.
I think deep down they do appreciate gimmicks. I just think that a lot of it is a front on social media. I don't think a lot of what people say on social media, I don't think is how they actually feel.
Not even that, Zeus. If you really think about it, think about every top star they've had in AEW is a fucking gimmick.
Tony
Hangman
Storm.
Page is a
Yeah.
cowboy.
Yeah.
MJF, gimmick. Britt Baker, gimmick. Tony
Storm.
Storm, walking gimmick. Mercedes, definite gimmick.
Their most, I think, like the women especially, their most successful feud by far has been Tony Storm and Mariah May. And it was just dripping in what we'd call sports entertainment. And, you know, it doesn't matter if you're a fan of WWE, AEW, TNA, like the entertainment aspect aside from the wrestling, and it helps if the wrestling's great as well, because that's the total package, but the entertainment aspect of anything is going to draw more attention than if it was just wrestling.
Well, the entertainment is what gets you there. I mean, you're not sticking around if the show's boring as fuck and then there's a really good wrestling match.
Well,
like,
no, I don't watch Olympic wrestling because there's no, you know, big
There's
show.
no storylines.
There's no big
You
boss
don't
man
like
making
Real
Al Snow
American
eat his
Freestyle?
dog.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
There's no Kennel
Zeus,
from Hell matches in the Olympics.
Are you going to watch Real American Freestyle if Chad Gable participates? Because I read
Absolutely.
earlier
Yes,
this week
I love
he wants
Chad
to
Gable.
participate in that.
Chad Gable is my favorite luchador of all time, so yes, I will.
Dude, that is so smart. Like, if they do that for real, that is so smart, man.
It'd be better than what Moxley did. Fucking Moxley signed up for jiu-jitsu tournaments and got his ass kicked by a fucking plumber.
Can we talk about Chad Gable at some point?
Of course. I'm ready.
Let me just kill one more AEW topic and I got you. Because there's one thing I want to bring up. Death Riders and Shane Taylor Promotions, question mark?
That's still a thing. Shane Taylor Promotions still exists.
Yes, it's a thing. And apparently a Ring of Honor group with all the many groups that are on the AEW main roster who couldn't do fuck all of shit to the Death Riders made the Death Riders look fucking weak.
Yeah,
and
that was bad.
Shit.
Yeah.
And
Shane Taylor's a big dude.
Yeah, I put it this way, and you know, John, you'll get a kick out of this. Imagine the Filthy Animals beat the fuck out of the 5 core members of the NWO.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
That's basically what we got. The Death Riders have been running roughshod over AEW for 4 years. Shane Taylor Promotions comes out of ROH for 3 weeks, and you know they laid out the Death Riders. It'd be like I said, the Misfits in action coming in and freaking laying out the NWO. You know, it makes no sense. I get trying to build, you know, people up, but that was not the way to do it.
It was by far the second dumbest thing I've ever seen on AEW television in my fucking life. In terms of logic, in terms of what the fuck are we doing, and how is this supposed to make sense from a week-to-week episodic wrestling television show? This makes absolutely zero fucking sense. We might as well let Timmy from the first fucking row just come in and piss in Moxley's mouth and take a giant dump on Marina's forehead and walk back to his fucking seat. Because that would have been way more entertaining than this.
Wait,
you can't leave us hanging, DJ.
Vincent Brock in AEW?
DJ, you said that's the second worst. You can't leave us hanging. What's the worst?
The worst thing I've ever seen in AEW was the fucking Orange Cassidy Jericho Mimosa match.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, okay. Fair point.
Worse than the exploding ring?
Or you know what? I like exploding ring. There you go.
Yeah.
You mean with
Michael Nakazawa covering himself in oil
with the sparklers?
Yeah.
Yeah, DJ, you may have to review your list. I think, you know, I don't think that Mimosa match is as low on the as you know you think it is. What about when the Dark Order debuted with all the guys and they were punching air?
Lord. Oh, I forgot about that one.
This is why I always say that whenever someone says that, oh, this company is worst it's ever been, it's definitely not. It's always been worse. Always.
No, I think the worst part of AEW, or you know what? I keep lying. The worst thing I've ever seen in AEW was the Dark Order debut.
He must have muted us because literally I just said that.
Oh, I did. No, Aaron
What
came
about,
in and
that
distracted
was a
me because he
choice.
had to go to the bathroom, and I had
what
to help
about
him.
airing the Punk footage?
That wasn't the worst. I mean, that was the most damaging.
Mm.
But I wouldn't.
Yeah, it was.
In terms of entertainment value, that's the most entertaining thing they've ever done on television is give us that footage.
It was great.
Yeah,
Hearing
Deejay,
the crowd pop when Punk shoved Perry, like, yeah, push that little fucking prick. He made us lose you. Push that bitch. Choke him out.
speaking of Punk, Zeus doesn't want to hear it. Never mind. Yeah,
I
DJ,
just don't
it's
think
funny.
it's
You
a
you
story.
muted me, and I had literally said 2 minutes before that about the Dark Order with the phantom punches.
Preston Vance is the worst fucking person. Like, he should have never been a wrestler. Definitely should have chose being a plumber.
Zeus, go ahead. Talk to us about Chad Gable.
Chad Gable. So I've liked Chad Gable for a long time, and I think that in WWE he has probably been one of the best wrestlers, talkers, and characters, like the whole package, for a long time, including this El Grande Americano run. And before the El Grande Americano thing, a lot of people were saying that he deserved better, like wrestling fans do when their favorite doesn't win anything, and the US title should have been his, etc. And I think with someone like LA Knight, you worry that that time is now gone and they didn't strike when the iron is hot. And we had that kind of concern with Chad Gable, but now they've got a chance to do it where the iron is even more hot than it ever was for Chad Gable. So what do you think their plans are going to be for Chad Gable, and are they going to take advantage of the amazing work he's done in AAA and how
I don't
popular he
know.
is now, not only in America, but also in Mexico?
He's turning heel.
Shut the fuck up.
No,
I will tell you this
no,
though.
that's a
they're
that was going on Dylanism.
Excuse me.
That was
They're
Dylanism.
teasing something, man.
But
Like,
is he
Dylanism.
going
I
to
don't
turn
think
heel,
that he's
brother?
going to turn heel, but they're
Yeah,
not
everyone.
wanting us to be satisfied with the fact that he's completely turned over a new leaf just yet. The way he, his facials, he hasn't smiled since he's been back. And maybe they're playing up. That's what I'm thinking too, bro. That's exactly where I'm getting. So he's acting like he's so sorry and all this and everything.
I think he
came out to
still
save
wants
Ray.
to be a luchador.
But I'm telling you, when he picked up that mask, the way they shot it and the way he stood there and looked at the mask for a second and then picked it up and stared at it before he gave it back to Ray, they're teasing exactly what you just said, that he wants the mask back. And I think he's gonna so if he does turn heel, he's taking Ray's mask. So that's the only way he turns heel, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it was very suspect the way he was looking, and he hesitated with giving the mask back. He's going to go through an identity crisis. So I think that it's an interesting journey, but I think it's going to end up. I think, John, I think you said this. I might be giving you credit where it's not due, but
I did
it
say
makes
that.
sense.
Full circle moment.
Penta against Chad Gable, with Chad winning at SummerSlam.
Yes.
Would be the end game.
Isn't Penta the last guy he lost to before the El Grande Americano gimmick? No, he lost in his debut, didn't he?
What if he beats him wearing Rey Mysterio's mask?
In Penta's debut, and that he said that's what started the
this
entire
is crazy fantasy book.
downward spiral.
The lucha thing.
Yeah.
Well, I get a feeling that this is going to be one of those things where Chad's gone through all of this, but deep down, he's not a luchador, and he never has been and never will be. So the reality is that through all of this, it'll end up that he's learned nothing. And that's going to kind of be what the bittersweet thing is about it.
I'm a little bit different than you guys. I'm not thinking of the short-term plans for Chad Gable. I'm thinking of what we can get or accomplish done in like this time next year. And I'm thinking, maybe he can get an Intercontinental run in between, but I'm thinking at some point, let's give Gunther another world title run, and let's see if babyface Gable can get over and be our new Danielson.
Well, you have to remember that I think that Chad Gable, we are going to see him interfere in the AAA match and help El Grande Americano beat Dominic Mysterio, because I think that will be an amazing moment. So I think he's going to be a babyface until at least that point.
But
And then
I'm
after
just
that, all
saying
bets are
in
off.
terms of like, what can we do with him long term?
Yeah.
Or at least they have a chance to do something with Gable that they haven't had a chance to do since they had Daniel Bryan. Like, I see that type of potential in Gable right now. Like, he's that over to the mainstream audience because of his performance. And people want to see him succeed now. Like, this is and it's organic. It's not like this was forced. This is what, you feel me? This is people's genuine emotions getting over. And I feel like, that getting over like that does not happen often. And you have to strike while the iron is hot. So without disrupting anything that you had planned for this year, especially for Mania, because I still think Sammy winning the Rumble is possibly a thing. But I also think that Chad Gable has the chance to be the next Danielson, that big underdog. Hold 1 second. That big one underdog, baby face to, that the people will get behind and
Depends how
genuinely
they do
want
it,
to be their
I
world
think.
champion.
Will they blow it if they turn him heel?
Yes. I think they will, because it depends what they want from Chad Gable. I think the thing is, can you treat Chad Gable as an underdog? Is he that archetype? Because he's an incredible wrestler. He's very well built physically. He's quite short, but I don't know. I don't know if he'd work as an underdog type. I think he'll be somebody people want to get behind. And obviously they are. But I think turning him heel, I just don't think it would make sense. I would have him kind of go through this kind of identity crisis, like you said, Brandon. But I don't think a full turn heel, like a ruse, like, oh, I fooled you all. I think it has to be a kind of genuine, emotional struggle for him.
Zeus, what did you feel about his entrance, his music he came out to?
So I agree with
Oh,
what
the
you said,
American
Zeus,
Alpha
about,
music, yeah.
Oh, the
he should
throwback,
go
man.
through this
Loved it.
identity
Loved it.
crisis ordeal and remain a babyface. Excuse me. I do want to play the devil's advocate a little bit here and say that I think it could work if they turned him heel, depending on how they did it. Obviously, what I said a minute ago is just crazy fantasy booking. He takes Ray's mask and wrestles in it. Like, there's no way that's ever going to happen. But if they did it right and he was just killing everybody like Kurt Angle used to do, it could work. He goes up and he just kills, I don't know, whoever, Cody Rhodes, I guess, or whoever the champion is at the time. Beats him down, takes the championship, and he's this dominant heel champion. I think it could work. But that being said, I do think he should be a babyface. Yes. Yeah.
The thing is, like, he's always been this good as well. He's always, even before
Since
the El
American
Grande
Alpha.
stuff. Yeah, his heel work. He's as a talker. He's funny. His cadence.
He's bought into
is really
every
good.
single thing he's been given,
and everything that he does on television. I think he's one of the most underrated guys they've had in the last few years.
But
I wouldn't say he's underrated. I would say he's overlooked.
Yeah.
here's
And he's
an
what now?
important
He's 40 now, isn't he? So
he is. Yeah, he's 40. My question is this: do you see him as a world champion? Like when you think of a world champion, do you see him?
I can see him as the Daniel Bryan type of world champion, where it's that moment. He's the underdog enough where you want to see him succeed that one good time. You know what I mean? Kind of what they wanted to capture with Jey Uso. But I think the people weren't. You can tell the people weren't, organically behind Jey. That was definitely manufactured with Yeet. So, like, this could be the first time where the crowd actually genuinely gets behind the guy and forces the company to give him a push, a solid main event push.
And
I disagree only on the. Sorry, Brandon.
No, go ahead, Zeus. I'll get in after.
I don't think he's a world champion, and it's nothing to do with him. I just think that he is it's the unfortunate timing of a combination of who the champions are now and also who they're currently building to be the next champions, of which there are a lot of them. Obafemi, Trick Williams, Bron Breakker. I just don't think there's room for a Chad Gable one, unfortunately.
Oof,
With
yeah.
the timing.
You know, a lot of people.
I mean, we were saying that a few years ago about the Miz though too, and he got a world title run out of nowhere. I don't think to say never say never.
Yeah, but the roster sucked at that time.
No, but I'm also saying in terms of I don't think we can never say never, or someone can't fit into the plans, especially if they organically get over. So you know what I mean? Somebody getting over to the point. It's kind of like the same way they pivoted with Cody, because Cody got that over with the story, and he pointed at Roman, and that, you know, somewhat organically got over with the fans. They immediately pivoted from what their plan was with Rock and Roman and said, you know what, we're going to ride this Cody wave to the fucking moon.
But is Chad going to be as over as Obafemi and Trick Williams? That's my worry.
Not as
America, in America,
but possibly as Trick. Yes,
because
without the theme song. I'm just saying, without whoop that Trick. I'm
so glad somebody finally said it.
Let's put it like this: if Trick doesn't have the catchy theme music where people can sing along with it, does Trick get over? No, I'm just saying. No, I'm saying.
Yeah,
he has a lot of charisma though.
But you always need that hook. You always need that kind of hook to get someone to get over. You know,
I think he would have.
You know, would Austin get over as big as he did if he didn't coin Austin 316? You know, there's always a hook for, you know.
He would have, but it would have taken longer.
I just would I wanted to bring up, I know a lot of people bring up the fact that, you know, they always say that, you know, no one can come out of NXT, you know, who was like WWE trained and homegrown and made it. I didn't realize he's actually homegrown. He didn't wrestle before WWE, like professionally. You know, he was Olympic and, you know, he did amateur wrestling, but WWE, he was trained through WWE, through NXT. No, I'm talking about Gable.
Chad Gable.
Yeah, no, Gable's they found Gable like straight out of like wrestling in college. Like he was a solid amateur wrestler. Like they were scouting him for the Olympics. But then WWE was like, listen, we can actually offer you money.
Crazy.
Fuck glory. We can give you money. And he's like, I'll take that.
He's been there for 13 years. He signed in 2013.
Well, let's try to, I was going to say, should we do one more topic or should we save it for later since it's still somewhat of a developing story? I don't want to be like, you know, Jacob and just spit, you know, shit out unverified.
Why don't we leave that one till we get a little more information? I think I know what you're talking about.
All right. Then I think that's pretty much the show. We did all the good shit. Sicko Soapbox. We talked about King and the Queen of the Ring, AEW.
Hey, so
fuck you,
ringside
Hannah
news
bitch.
sucks, right?
Jacob, you're a pussy. And Sean, you're still my boy, but you're wishy-washy as fuck right now.
Oh yeah.
Do you want they lick.
Do you want to even mention that, DJ?
Save it till next time.
Oof.
Did you see what do you know what they did?
I just made the pun that they don't suck, they lick.
I didn't hear you. Okay, how about real quick, Zarya winning the North American title, Tatum Paxley going to Raw. That's my prediction on that.
About time.
My prediction, me in Tatum Paxley's DMs later.
Yeah.
And saying, can you wear that Rouge costume over here?
She's another one. She's another one who came in without any wrestling experience and is fully NXT trained. You know, so everyone's saying this NIL program is, you know, a waste, but, you know, Oba, Solruka, Trick Williams. I mean, you can't say the NIL program's a waste. And, you know, when you're getting Lash Legend,
and
so,
soon
you know, you're getting all these people from the NIL
Scott
program.
Steiner's boy. I'm sure he'll be there.
Tiffany
Unless he
Stratton
makes it big and plays in the NFL.
Yeah.
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 Braun Breaker too, another nil
Yeah.
prospect.
It would be Oba and Braun, but he can't stay
But
healthy.
Oba on top, Oba's obviously the biggest one right now. So,
Mm-hmm.
It's fun,
but-
dude.
John, yeah, John, thank you for joining
Australia.
us. Zeus, as always, go what? Spain, Mexico. What are we rooting for?
Well, tonight?
No, in general.
Well, tonight. Oh, in general, I think Spain. I think Spain. I hope England, obviously, but Spain is the one for me.
Let's go Brazil, so I can see
Zeus.
some Braziers.
Zeus will be pulling Vampire Hours for the next
Yeah.
week and a half.
It's 1:30
When
a.m.
is
at the
England's
moment,
first
and in
game? I know
an hour and a
US
half's
is tomorrow,
time, Korea versus
Wednesday.
Czechia kicks off. So I'm going to make use of my time off work. So Wednesday. Yeah.
Well, real quick, Zeus, anything you want to plug before you go?
Zeus Backstage on YouTube. And that's it. Haven't done much at the moment, but I'll be making some time during my time off to just make some general YouTube videos
Yeah,
about
I mean,
general
just
thoughts on what's going on. So
yeah,
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 Zeus
just my
Backstage
Twitter
on YouTube.
dude, Hollywood Gump at first name John.
John,
with a
anything from
0
you?
instead
You want
of
to
an
plug the
O
Twitter
for
or
the-
anything else?
Yeah, that's
Mr.
it. Just my Twitter.
14K. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the DJ and Heel page. We need 50 subscribers so we can do this live stream thing, because I don't like doing the recording thing. I like
then you
being
can send him
live
an
and just
invite and
calling
bring him
people
into the
out
studio.
at time. I one take, okay? One fucking take. Let's do this one shot. Okay, that's how I want to be. Exactly. Fucking, but yeah, I think this was a solid episode. My favorite so far, because I get to yell at people and be funny.
And
And Aaron,
that's episode 27. So we'll be back next week, where I think we got no pay-per-views next week. It's the following week that the freaking weekend is jam-packed.
fucking Kefis better be ready next weekend. I don't give a fuck. He's fucking ducking me, guys.
He showed up on Zeus's space, so he might be.
Proof he's ducking. He showed up as I left too.
Yeah.
He's avoiding you.
Yeah. He was waiting. He was anonymous. He saw you drop down, then he let himself be
Thank you,
seen.
boys.
But thank you.